Will AI replace a surveyor in 2026? In this video, I'm going to be talking about survey software, what it can do for you right now, and what AI and machine learning's role can be in the field going forward. When you're working with software, especially survey software, it's important to take a step back and think about what it's actually doing. It's not thinking the way that you do. It's not standing at the site and understanding the site from being there. It's just taking the data in, applying a set of rules to it, and spitting the data back out. If you got good data going in, you're gonna have a nice looking result coming out. And if the data going in is bad, it can still produce a result that looks pretty good at first glance. And that's when a lot of guys fall into this trap. The software doesn't know what's right or wrong in a real world sense. It only knows if data fits the rules that it's been given. And in surveying, that matters a lot because something that looks good in the office might not be something that actually fits on the ground. A lot of people talk about software like it should be able to solve any problem if the programmers are good enough. And I know a lot of really good programmers, but unfortunately a lot of problems they don't really work that way. And you know this feeling, it starts to show up when you're in the office and something doesn't feel right, something doesn't look right. You got data that processes, but maybe something looks a little off. Maybe a few shots don't line up the way you'd expect. Maybe the surface looks good, but you know that's not quite what you saw on site. The software might be able to warn you that something's going on, but it probably won't understand what happened on site. It won't know if it's a bad setup or just a bad observation or a coordinate system issue or someone sent you the wrong design file or the units are wrong. It just might know that something doesn't quite line up. And that's where you have to step in to figure it out. And a lot of the time you're doing that with imperfect information. Maybe you couldn't see the whole site perfectly. Maybe you're working around obstructions. Maybe you're working with data that somebody else collected and you weren't the guy on site. On top of that, you're trying to understand intent, what the client needs, what the designers intended, what the final outcome is going to be on the site, and maybe what the field crew was meant to capture. Those are judgment calls, and they don't come from the software. They come from experience, they come from context, and they come from you taking a look at the data and deciding what you're willing to stand behind. Now, we hear a lot of the same asks from guys just getting into survey, and they typically fall along the same lines. 1, it should fix bad field work. 2, it should catch my mistakes automatically. 3, it should know what I meant to capture. 4, it should understand that the design file is wrong. And while software is always improving and finding ways to address these problems, sometimes the solution they have or that they come up with can be area specific or only work if the data in is perfect. So let's go into these and talk a bit about it. Number 1, it should fix bad field work. I completely agree, but within reason. Good survey software should be able to take blunders in the field and reprocess them into data that makes sense. As surveyors, we're always trying to equip ourselves with tools and processes that minimize the risk of us missing things in the field. Things like reprocessing a traverse because of a wrong prism height or an incorrect HI can be really easily calculated by software. But where this gets problematic is when we ask the software to solve our problems with information that it doesn't have. Asking the software to do things like increase your accuracy on a 1-second observation under tree canopy isn't something the software can realistically do because it doesn't actually have the data to solve that problem. Number 2, it should catch my mistakes automatically. And again, I agree to a point. Software is very good at warning you when a shot is out of tolerance or when you have a traverse that doesn't close. What it struggles with are mistakes that enter the system through the operator. Localizing on the wrong point or entering your control point coordinates incorrectly, design files being in units that don't match what's on the ground, or polylines based on a 0 elevation for cut fill aren't problems that the software is going to catch because it's assuming the data that you gave it is right. Number 3, the software should know what I meant to capture. This is where it starts to get fuzzy. A lot of field and CAD programs already have field to finish routines that allow CAD software to create something closer to a deliverable based on your coding in the field, but if a code was missed or a code was entered incorrectly, then the field to finish routine won't catch it. And while a lot of point cloud softwares like LiDAR 360, DJI Terra have features like auto point classification, this is all based on how machine learning has been trained in the past. So with optical receivers starting to come online and more data starting to come into the office, there may come a day where the software can actually detect what you were trying to do just based on image and LiDAR data. It all does still need a human eye. If you're signing your life away on a survey plan based on the codes that you are getting that are auto-generated, you have to be extremely sure that those are the right codes. And in that case, how much do you want the computer doing the classification versus your crew in the field? Number 4, It should understand my design better. This is one we get a lot, and it's always going to be the hardest one to work around for people who are new to survey. If the drawing from the architect is in inches, but the unit settings on the file are set to feet, the software has no way of knowing that information. The software doesn't know that this house is not actually 600 feet long. All it knows is that that's what the file says. This problem shows up too when we're talking about orientation. When something is drawn up on a local system, oftentimes guys don't have the orientation of their project when they show up on site and they have maybe one stake telling them where the corner of the house goes. And again, the software doesn't know what was discussed with the designer. It wasn't in that meeting room with you. And until you localize to the site, that will be a mystery to the software. At the end of the day, what this all comes back to is the kind of job that surveying is. A lot of tools improve really, really quickly when the problem you're trying to solve is consistent and the problem you're trying to solve is repeatable. But survey is nothing like that. Every job is a little different. The terrain changes, the conditions change, the control is different from job to job, country to country, state to state, and the deliverables don't always mean the same thing from one project to the next. You're constantly fighting with incomplete information, and you're making decisions based on what you can see, what you can measure, and what you understand about the site. That's not processing data, that's interpretation. And that's the part that software has always struggled with because it doesn't have context. It doesn't know what matters on this specific job, and it doesn't know what you're trying to stand behind at the end of it. And that's why this gap keeps showing up even as our tools improve. Now lately, things have been getting a lot more interesting with things like machine learning and some of the other tools that we have coming into software. Things like classification, identifying patterns in point clouds, flagging observations that don't quite fit, or helping generate line work faster. Those are areas where software can save a lot of time. And in some cases, it can catch things that you might not notice right away, just because it can see all the data all at once. But it is important to understand what it's actually doing. It's not really understanding the site, not the same way that you do. It's just recognizing patterns based on what it's seen before. So it can suggest, it can flag things, it can speed things up, but it's still working off of predictive models. It's not working with an understanding of the data the same way that you are. And that means the output still needs to be reviewed the same way everything else does. And that's where it fits best. As a tool to help you reduce workload and focus your attention in the right places, not as something that replaces your need to look at the data and make decisions. When it's used that way, it's extremely useful. But when it's expected to give you the final answer on its own, that's when it starts to break down. Survey software has come a long way in the last few years, and it's only getting better. You can process more data with it, you can automate more of your workflow, and it can help you move through a job faster than ever before. You still have to have the ability to understand what you're looking at. You have to be able to figure out what the right answer is, and you have to be confident in that answer. At the end of the day, the software can give you an output, it can give you a deliverable, but it's not the one standing behind it. That part still falls on you.